gonna catch no fame, cause I'm worth too many M's, you dig? Hey, what's going on, man?
You ain't from the hood. Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to set blood, ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Oh, I live in the hood, ass nigga. Never got put on, always claiming the hood though. Oh, you fucking with the homegirl, but don't come to the hood with none of your damn homeboys. They don't get a pass. Had the little homies press they ass for your tattoos. Hey, your mama waking up to some bad news. The plug saying groove, I'm a dime. I was long, Miller, skinny nigga with the braid. Took a 2-man fade. I'm really from the hood. I took a fucking break to get my money right. But I was banging on the plane in the meeting with Jermaine. They like, poet, oh, you bang? They forgot where I came from. I was gang banging when it wasn't fun. Homie doing life right now, cause we don't play the fun. You ain't from the hood. Nah,
Sergeant Mo,
you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood.
Gotta hurry up and put
You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood.
A gang show. Miss Black Barbie.
Niggas always claim to set blood, ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. And that goes for these hoes too. Start fucking on niggas and throwing these niggas hood up. Ha, little dot dot. Heard you gave a homie head in the trap spot. Got a throwaway in the stash spot. Boy, you not real, like a Sasquatch. Boy, I'm so high, I'm seeing astronauts. Boy, I ball hard, I need a mascot. Oh, and Swahili, I'm a damu. My little cousin making paru. My nigga Uzi, he from Fire Deuce. Pad blows, I be hanging with some real whoops. Gang signs out the window when we drive coupes. Making money with some crips like it's 92. Banging on tracks, banging on tracks. Back in my days, it was banging on. You ain't from the hood. Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to set blood, ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood.
Fuck Chris Brown, nigga. Pull up in the hood right now, nigga. Catch your fade, nigga. Fuck, nigga.
I know you're like, who is that old bitch?
You ain't from the hood.
Who is that old bitch? Who is that old bitch? What's happening up in the hood? Do I got this volume down? What's happening up in the hood? You are from the hood. If you're from this channel, you are in the hood. Now, this is a very informational show right here. I have to help my LGBT community out with a little history, you know what I'm saying, that they've been hiding from the LBG channel and shit, because this is a history channel. I don't have nothing against the LGBTQ whatever community, you know what I'm saying, because a couple of them is Trump supporters, and I know that's for a fact. But I got a problem with the liberal fucking gays and LBGTQ and all that other stuff. It's two different type of gays. You got the regular gays and you got the conservative gays. You know what I'm saying? Not like Kristen Walker, nothing like that. He's a conservative gay, but he's a flamboyant conservative gay. To each his own. As long as your ass conservative and gay, your ass all right with me. I ain't gay, but your ass is all right with me. I love, not love in that type of way, but we love conservative gays on this channel. Fuck the other channels on this channel. Now I got that out the way. That's my disclaimer for my gay friends on here. Now, let me get into the gay shit. Now, it's a reason why, and I found out why Gavin Newsome is running for president, right? You got all this gay shit, all the LGBT shit, community and all this old stuff, right? Going on and stuff, right? Now, you know who started this gay gangster shit? The gay gangster who started it was Gavin Newsome. Started the gay marriage before Barack Obama, before Joe Biden. It was Gavin Newsome, right? Gavin Newsome, they've been grooving Gavin Newsome for years. Now, I got an interview with Gavin Newsome, and he kind of spilled all the beans, right? This is an interview from like 10 years ago or something like that, but he spilled all the beans on this interview right here, him about running for him for president. He even go hard on Nancy Pelosi, talking about she ain't doing what she's supposed to be doing. But no further ado, right? This video is also about Barack Obama trying to spread gay diplomacy in other countries, right? And all other countries. We're not going to give you no aid unless you come with the gay shit, right? Unless you come with the gay shit, other country like, you know what, Barack, fuck you and your money, huh? We not doing the gay shit. You can do the gay shit in your country. Leave our country alone. With no further ado, let's get into this, because this is very informational. If you're from the LBGTQ community, I also got a civil rights case for you up in here about if Martin Luther King was gay. So if you, this is a show for you if you with the LGBT community. Let's get into it. Oops, I gotta do the sound. Let's get it. Oh,
male or female?
The sex that was assigned to me at birth was female.
And you opted to become male. Did you discover that you are actually meant to be male?
More and more these days, I find myself thinking of the people that I've met, the stories that I've heard. When this administration rescinded protections for transgender students.
Wait a minute. First of all, who in the fuck is telling Hillary Clinton stories? My bad.
Fiercely for their...
Well, who in the fuck is telling Hillary Clinton stories, right? Who in their right fucking mind is telling Hillary Clinton any kind of stories, right? Hillary ain't around nobody to be told no damn stories. She's not talking to the public to know no damn story. They always talking about they done heard a story. They ain't heard no damn story.
Advocating so fiercely for their child's right to live, learn, and go to school just like anybody else.
Who's stopping gay kids from going to school? Live, learn, and go to school just like anybody else. Who's stopping gay kids from going to school? They always try to make it seem like the world is just down on gay kids. We just down on transgender kids. We not down on transgender kids. We just don't want you to try to turn our kids into no transgender or try to turn no transgender policies on us. That's all we ask. We don't want to do the shim, him, them thing.
You are a transgender.
On the same night that Barack Obama won his historic presidency, the lesbian and gay community suffered one of our most painful defeats.
The president is in the White House because of the civil rights movement.
Barack Obama, right? He's in the White House because of the civil rights movement, not the gay movement, right? Which Barack have advocated strongly for. He advocated more for the gay rights than he did for the black rights. Google it.
I was a leader in that movement.
Appreciate it. What was your reaction to the president's announcement?
And then it got even worse. Pretty much immediately, African Americans started to be blamed for the passage of Proposition 8.
Well, I was disappointed as a Christian and as a person who believes that the Bible has established clearly what marriage is supposed to be between a man and a woman.
This was largely due to an incorrect poll that said that blacks had voted for the measure by something like 70%. This turned out not to be true, but this idea of pervasive black homophobia set in.
And who was that portrayed by? Who said the black people was voting on the gay bills and the gay bills and the gay rights and all that by 70%? Who said that? Mainstream media.
And was grabbed on by the media.
And I didn't march 1 inch, 1 foot, 1 yard for a man to marry a man and a woman to marry a woman.
I couldn't tear myself away from the coverage. I listened to some gay commentators say that the African American community was notoriously homophobic.
And because the reality is that the saga of a nation is really the saga of its families written large.
The black community did not stand by the gay marriage. The black church did not stand by Barack Obama and the gay marriage. Some black people did, the ones who wanted the money. Yeah, come on in the church, gay people. You know what I'm saying? We want your money too. Your money is green just like the regular heterosexual people. Come on and spend that money. We allow all the gays. They even got gay churches now.
And when you redefine the family other than what the Creator intended when he established it, then you're looking at the devolution of civilization.
And what we're going through right now, the devolution of civilization, you got to remember, all these interviews was old. These interviews old. That's why I'm a historic figure, you know what I'm saying, a historic comedian, historic YouTuber and all those shit. These stories are old. So when they was talking about all this devilization of civilization, what do you think happening right now? The devilization of civilization.
So the president has forgotten the price that was paid, where people died, where they suffered, where they gave their blood to have equal rights in the United States.
And now that civil rights had been achieved for us, we wanted to take away other people's rights.
And when she say us, she's not talking about blacks, she's talking about gays.
Separation of church and state should never mean separation of God and right.
There were even reports of racist epithets being thrown at some of the participants of the gay rights rallies that took place after the election.
And for the homosexual community and for the president to bow to the money.
Bow to the money. The money, because you know homosexuals got money, and homosexuals in high places, they got the money. Trust me, my gay conservative friends got the money.
As Judas did with Jesus Christ, is a disgrace, and we're ashamed.
And since government is supposed to be an agency of God, and since the nation was established based on a theistic frame of reference.
Well, that's why I was arguing with my friend today, right? Or you got laws and you got natural laws, right? You know natural laws. Natural laws is a man can't have a baby. A natural law is a woman can't produce a baby. Them are natural laws. They can't be reversed, right? They can't be reversed. A natural law is you're not supposed to kill. That is a natural law. You ain't gotta be if you raised and nobody taught you anything in life, right? I'm pretty sure you have enough common sense to know thou should not steal or kill, right? Thou should not disrespect the mother. Thou should not have sex with family members, right? Why do you think when people have sex with family members, the baby come out fucked up, right? That's a curse, right? You're not supposed to mix shit. It's certain things that are natural, right? A woman and a man is natural. Two women is unnatural. Two men is unnatural. I mean, you have I'm not tripping on it because I'm not homophobic and nothing like that. You have a decision, like I made a decision to be straight, you made a decision to be gay. That's your decision. You got to live with it. I got to live with it, right? But don't act like it's natural. It's lots of things I don't do natural, right? That I do that's not natural or whatever, right? If you're talking about having sex out of wedlock, that's not natural. So certain things I do not natural or against, you know. So, but homosexuality is not one of them. Good looking out, Slaphead, on the donation. More people be like Slaphead and donate to this show. We on some homosexuality, especially. I'm not saying that homosexuality, but if you like how I'm educating the homos, I mean the gay people. I didn't mean to say the homos. I like how educating the gay people, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and drop $1 or something, right? And when I say homos, I didn't mean it's short for homosexual, if that's the correct terminology.
God should not be marginalized and put on the sideline. His authority should not be negated, and we should not take human institutions that he established, which includes government, and the foundation is the family, and redefine it at our own whim.
Good locking out Bobby Mayo. Bobby Mayo with the donation. What up with it, big dog?
We will not take it back. We will not back down.
And on the other side, some African Americans dismissed or ignored homophobia that was indeed real in our community.
It was real, right? And they tried to promote it. Bobby Mayo, Slaphead, they tried to promote this shit, man. They tried to promote it in the black community. They tried to promote it hard. They tried to force it on us, right? And not only force it on us, as you're going to see in a minute, try to force it on other countries.
And others resented this comparison between gay rights and civil rights. And once again, the sinking feeling that two minority groups, of which I'm both a part of, were competing with each other instead of...
It look like, from the looks of it, your ass is part of the Kool-Aid gang, too. Your ass shaped like the green Kool-Aid jar. You know what I'm saying? So you part of three groups: the gays, the blacks, and the Kool-Aid people.
Supporting each other.
Civil rights is not an issue here. Biblical justice is the equitable application of God's moral law in society. When you talk about racial civil rights and combine that to the redefinition of the family, God has to have a say-so on both issues.
And God didn't say nothing about that. God didn't say nothing about no reproduction, cutting off your genitals and tying them up and all those stuff because you don't like a Roe v. Wade. But look, I have something to compare it to, right? When gay marriage was overturned 5-4 in the Superior Court, which they finna talk about pretty soon, how many people was going down, burning down wedding chapels? How many conservatives was going down, burning down wedding chapels? How many conservatives was running around threatening judges? Right? Even though a lot of conservatives didn't agree with gay marriage, how many conservatives was running around doxing judges, burning down buildings, right? Harassing Supreme Court judges at restaurants? How many conservatives was doing that to the 5 judges who voted for the gay marriage? 0. 0, 0. Right? Let you know, right? We are constitutionalists on the conservative side, right? We stick with the Constitution, right? If the judges happen to say gay marriage exists and that's the law, fuck it, we gotta live with it unless it's overturned. But until then, we gotta live with it. That's what the Superior Court say. We ain't gonna burn shit down. We're gonna try to put judges and stuff in place so we can try to overturn it in different shit. But we ain't gonna do nothing like burn shit down like y'all doing. It's a difference.
Overwhelmed and frankly pissed me off.
That we are going to take action across this country to change the course that this president is carrying us.
Huh? That was black people going after Barack Obama, the church. So like, we're going to take action. But his action wasn't going further enough because too many black people was riding the Barack Obama bandwagon.
She's spoken on both issues clearly.
Far be it from me to ever argue with a pastor about God, so I'll just preface this, what I'm about to say to you, sir.
Big monumental ruling came down this morning. Here's what's happening. In a landmark opinion,
Now this the interview that happened years ago, right? When your boy Gavin Newsome first married all them people in San Francisco. Remember, the gay marriage started in California and San Francisco, right? When Gavin Newsome was marrying people every fucking week, he married like 20,000 people in a week or something like that. 20,000 gay people in a week. It started with Gavin Newsome. So all this gay marriage and stuff, he got that under his belt. So when he get to say, well, I'm running for president, I got the gay community, and I done this, and I got the gay marriage and all, he gonna run on that type of shit, right? He gonna run on this type of shit. What he done for California gay rights? He done a lot for California gay rights. The same thing Barack Obama did. Gay rights. They done a lot. Huh? Gavin Newsome is the pioneer of gay rights. And this dude finna explain it. Before it was Barack Obama, before it was Joe Biden, before it was the left, before it was the liberals in the swamp, it was Gavin Newsome.
U.S. Supreme Court ruled 5-4 today that states cannot ban same-sex marriage.
Respect to the issue of...
Before Barack Obama, remember, Barack Obama was talking about it. This was the law in California was already passed. And then Barack Obama was like, well, I'm thinking about it, making it a federal, you know what I'm saying, taking it to the Supreme Court and getting it as law, right? But Gavin Newsom was already doing it. He's the king of the gay rights.
Whether gays and lesbians should be able to get married. I've spoken about this recently. As I've said, my feelings about this are constantly evolving. I struggle with this.
Handing gay rights advocates their biggest victory yet.
I have friends.
Ooh, but when pro-life supporters got their biggest victory, it's a problem. We didn't say shit when y'all got y'all biggest victory ever for gay and rights, for liberals. We didn't say shit. We let it ride. 5-4. Y'all fight for this for years. How many years y'all was fighting for this? How many years? Y'all was fighting for gay rights and gay marriage before we was fighting for Roe v. Wade. Huh?
I have people who work for me.
President Obama is rallying supporters of gay rights. He spoke at a fundraiser in New York.
He got friends and he got fundraiser partners, right? I got a couple of friends. No, nigga, you ain't got a couple of friends. You got a couple of fundraisers.
New York City last night for political donors who are gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender.
Who are in powerful, strong, long-lasting gay or lesbian unions.
I don't want to overstate it, but I ain't going to understate it. I never honestly thought this would happen in my lifetime.
Ain't that what they said about Roe v. Wade? The same thing Gavin Newsom saying about gay marriage, the same thing we saying about Roe v. Wade and the Supreme Court.
And they are extraordinary people.
So when you decided to take up the cause for gay marriage and actually announced that we're going to do this here in San Francisco, were there people who were like, you're done, you're ruining your career, you've just thrown your career down the tubes?
Huh? Before it was Barack Obama that was speaking up for gay rights, it was Gavin Newsom, the gay king, the king of the gay parades, the king of gay pride, all that in Los Angeles. The one who cheated on his wife, too. But we ain't going to get in that. We're going to get into the gay pride.
And this is something that means a lot to them and they care deeply about.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most disheartening thing at the time is the people I respected and admired the most, my quote-unquote mentors,
Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, my mentors. Barack Obama, his mentors, right? His mentors wasn't on board.
The folks I looked up to in politics, in my own party, the Democratic Party, they were the most vocal. They were the most critical. And I won't name names, but let me assure you some of the most high-profile political figures in America.
At this point, what I've said is that my baseline is a strong civil union that provides them the protections and the legal rights that married couples have.
Right. People in high places, his mentors, right, in high places, they all were like, don't do it. He went against all of them, and started doing it.
Like Nancy Pelosi or Barbara Boxer, did they say anything to you?
The folks, but you know, they didn't even want to associate with the city.
And I think that, and I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I mean,
they didn't want to associate with the city. Nancy Pelosi didn't even want to associate with the city when the gay marriage thing came out because she wasn't with it until it got on. Now she with the gay rights, but first she wasn't with it.
It was a profound moment. It wasn't just about the mayor at the time. It was about not even wanting the association.
But I recognize that from their perspective, it is not enough. And I think this is something that we're going to continue to debate, and I personally am going to continue to wrestle with going forward.
I'm going to continue to wrestle with it. Nigga, you didn't wrestle with it. You jumped the shit out of it. You had it planned all along.
The city and
it was dangerous. Values. It was very dangerous ground to be treading on. I mean, that's why I said you're the bravest man. It's like Vinny said, you have to have aspirations. I mean, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if you're president someday.
Huh? What? Remember, this recording was when he was not governor, not mayor, but lieutenant governor. Huh? You know how many years ago this interview was? I wouldn't be surprised you run for president. You got all the gay rights shit behind you. I wouldn't be surprised you run for president. The gay people was with you. I'm with you. Huh?
But then something else happened after that election in 2008. The march towards gay equality accelerated at a pace that surprised and shocked everyone.
Thanks to who? Thanks to who? It accelerated. Obama, it was a fear of it. You know, it was a fear about the black people getting blamed for it and all those stuff. And then all of a sudden, it exploded. And who made it explode? Gavin Newsom.
I'd support you. You're smarmy as all get out, but you have a heart of gold. Gavin Newsom.
It's the hair, isn't it?
It's whatever that crap is you put in there.
And is still reshaping our laws and our policies, our institution, and our entire country.
I'm telling you, I would support you because I know you to be a person who, while I might not agree with everything that you have to say, you're brave and you make and you have a heart of gold.
And that, in fact, some of the way that the gay rights movement has been able to make such incredible gains so quickly is that it's used some of the same tactics and strategies that were first laid down by the civil rights movement.
They mimicked us, right? Everything we did, they did, huh? From Stonewall marches and to riots and to rallies, all that. They mimicked us for years. Remember, gay is a choice. Being black is not.
Gavin, I really credit so much of what's happening today directly to you. You made people talk about this. You made it so you had to talk about it.
Huh? The Supreme Court decision was directly related to Gavin Newsom. Need I say mo? Do I gotta say mo? Do I gotta prove mo? I already proved in other videos. Huh? I can tie Gavin Newsom to PG&E. Why ain't no Republicans tied into the wildfires, to the B&G, to the energy scandal? Huh? The shit I covered years ago. Last year. Ain't no Republican brought that shit up yet. They talking about, you talking about California and California bad. No, talk about all the scandals. Talk about the money. Talk about the people, the people who got murdered in that fire, and he let them off. Talk about that shit. He got murders under his belt. Why do no Republicans want to talk about that shit? Gavin Newsom got murders under his fucking belt from the energy company. Huh?
You did it. This is you, Gavin. Congratulations to you today and to everyone.
Yeah, there were 4,036 couples that came from 46 states and 6 countries. They didn't need to come to San Francisco.
Huh? You know how many people he married them in 1 month? 4,600 people in 1 month. A nigga broke a record in San Francisco where the gay shit started at. The gay marriage. Gavin Newsom for president.
We were going to marry one couple, Phyllis Lyon and Del Martin. They had been together close to half a century. And the whole idea was to put a human face on the issue of discrimination as we saw it in 2004. But no one expected what happened hours, days, weeks, and a month later. It was an extraordinary time in San Francisco. And we realized that, what was so extraordinary, I think, about that month in February 2004 was how there wasn't one image that the right-wing Fox News types could exploit.
We couldn't exploit nothing about gay marriage. We could have, but it would have been ridiculous to do it.
Hopefully one day folks will come around to this point of view.
Let me jump in.
Right? Because Fox didn't disagree with no Supreme Court decision, right? Fox would be stupid to argue against a Supreme Court decision. Oh, they can have an opinion about it, but they can't argue the facts. They can't rev nobody up about no decision, tell nobody to go out there and light no fires.
In here and repeat the breaking news, if I could. In a landmark opinion, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled 5-4 today that states cannot ban same-sex marriage, handing gay rights advocates their biggest victory yet.
Whoa, you hear that? They can't ban it. A landmark. You hear that? Ain't that what Roe v. Wade was? A landmark. We didn't trip on yours? Why is it that every time it don't go the liberals' way, they want to ride and fire and do all kind of shit? If we go y'all way with the president, we didn't burn shit down. Right? We didn't like it. Some people done some shit at the Capitol building, but majority of the 75 million people didn't do no crazy shit. Y'all got fake people, AOC fake like she getting arrested for, with no cuffs on. Right? You got people don't know what the fuck a baby is. People killing people at 9 months. Babies at 9 months. We didn't say nothing about none of that. Who's that? Sergeant Moe. His little cash for you. What's up, Sergeant Moe? I saw that thing light up in that green, man. What's up with it, my ninja? My boy Sergeant Moe, the nigga press secretary. Him and Slaphead was late on. Slaphead didn't know how to get on this show. He was in the back thing. I couldn't hear Slaphead, but he gonna definitely get on the next show. And Sergeant Moe was trapped in KKK land some damn where, taking pictures with Klan outfits and shit. You know what I'm saying? But they definitely gonna be on here on the next one. You believe that, right? But this shit started in San Francisco, and he trying to end it in D.C.
No, my honor, and I kid you not, you know this. You guys were there from day one and all this.
Yeah, we were. Back when you were a little old city soup, we were into you.
Trust
You remember us when you're president someday.
The president said...
You hear that? You remember that? When you're president someday, we stuck by you. Remember, Gavin Newsom was getting groomed. He had mentors, right? My mentors.
Says that progress has been made in advancing equality, but he believes more needs to be done overseas.
Right? More need to be done overseas. Now, Barack Obama he already done the gayness in America. Now he got it accomplished. Now he's trying to promote it overseas.
Paid heavily to promote homosexuality in Uganda.
Mm-hmm. If you look at the history of countries around the world,
He's not the only person, right? The whole United Nations was preaching, hey, they were trying to change Africa into a gay nation. Why Africa? Why you ain't doing that shit over there in Europe? Why you ain't doing it to the Muslims? Why you ain't doing it to nobody else? Why Africa? The whole continent of Africa, right? All of these are different African leaders from different parts of Africa, different presidents saying no to homosexuality, and the United States and Canada and Europe and all these countries like, yes, say yes to it, or we won't give you no money. Why is they trying to put gay stuff in Africa and gay, look, they saying we don't want it. Our people over here is not gay. You keep on trying to push it over here, and we don't want it. Right? We're making it a crime because the people want it. Right? We have our laws, we have our diplomacy, and we have our own beliefs. Why y'all trying to put y'all shit on us? Jason Trudeau went over there. Barack Obama went over there. Biden went over there. All of them went over there promoting this homosexuality.
Senegal's President Macky Sall on Wednesday defended the country's criminalization of homosexuality, telling visiting Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau that his country's laws would not change regarding the practice.
That was Senegal. This is another country right here that they're trying to turn into a homosexuality country in Africa.
Zambia is a religious conservative country. And it has some of the toughest anti-homosexual laws in Africa.
Trudeau had appealed to Sall to stop the jailing of gays and lesbians, a subject on which the Senegalese leader remains uncompromising.
Huh? Uncompromising. But look at Barack Obama and them going over there like, you're going to change it. This is a whole different country. These are 3 different countries in Africa that they're trying to turn gay.
when you start treating people differently, not because of any harm they're doing anybody, but because they're different.
And the Zambian leader was unequivocal about his stand on the issue when he spoke to us.
We are saying no to homosexuality. Why should you say we're going to be civilized if we only allow it? Are you saying we are very primitive now because we are frowning upon homosexuality?
Say you only can be civilized if you accept homosexuality. What? Why are you preaching that to us? We can only be civilized if we accept homosexuality. That's what America is saying to them. You're not civilized. You only can be civilized if we preach this homosexuality to you, right? This is in Africa. Why are they trying to shoot this diplomacy and our democracy and our whatever the fuck you want to call it in Africa?
That's the path whereby freedoms begin to erode. And bad things happen.
Even animals don't do it. Why should we be forced to do it? Because we want to be seen to be smart, to be seen to be civilized and advanced and so on.
Huh? Animals don't do it. So why we got to do it? For us to be civilized. If animals don't do it.
We cannot ask Senegal to say tomorrow we legalize homosexuality and tomorrow is gay parades.
There are still Americans out there who are vulnerable and alone and still need our support.
He's talking about Americans in other countries that are gay. Think about this. There's Americans in the other country that need our support. What? We're telling motherfuckers to come back home. Don't go to other countries and try to preach their gayness and tell the world, well, our people can go over there and be gay in your country.
Many in this congregation are avid supporters of their president's stand against gay rights.
So we can't stop. We've got to keep fighting. We've got to keep fighting for the human rights of people around the world.
We are not gays.
And appalled at the American diplomatic intervention.
We need to send a message to those folks. I want them to hear from the President of the United States. We believe in your dignity and your equality, and the United States stands with you.
Huh? I want them to hear from the president, the gay people to hear from the president. from the United States president in other countries.
That's not possible either, because our society doesn't accept it. Society will evolve. It will take as long as it takes. I believe that even in northern countries, this debate isn't totally exhausted.
To those who face violence and intimidation every single day and who live under governments that have made the existence of anybody who's LGBT illegal.
Why are you worried about other countries making gay shit legal? They believe in God, right? Strongly. They have different religious beliefs, different laws. Why are you worried about their laws in other countries? Tell Americans don't go be gay and sucking dick in other countries, and you won't have that problem. Problem solved.
The row blew up after two men seen here with their lawyer were jailed for 15 years for taking part in what's known in the country as a crime against the order of nature, the legal term in Zambia for gay sex.
Or it's against nature, huh? But Barack Obama is still going over there in other countries saying you need to okay this homosexuality or we gonna cut your aid.
And when a government gets in the habit of treating people differently, those habits can spread.
Senegalese public opinion massively backs the criminalization of homosexuality. Under the country's laws, anyone found guilty of having gay sex is liable to 5 years imprisonment.
The U.S. is a big aid donor to Zambia, but
a big aid donor to Zambia. But watch him say, we don't give a fuck about your money. If we got to be gay to have your money, we would rather not have your money and have to struggle. This is how strongly they believe in homosexuality. He's saying, if you're going to cut your aid, go ahead and cut your aid. We don't need it. We'd rather struggle and be poor.
the Zambian president said no amount of money could make him change his mind on homosexuality.
Attempts to prescribe new rights that are contrary to our values, norms, traditions, and beliefs.
This is a whole nother country. This 5 countries in the United States trying to preach homosexuality to in Africa. 5 different countries, 5 different presidents.
A retraction or apology would do, but I don't know, to be honest with you, how far this matter will go. Because already you're tying it to aid.
Senegal is predominantly Muslim.
They're already tying it to aid, right? And the Senegal is Muslim. They want the Muslims to accept LGBT. You won't go over there and tell Saddam Hussein them to accept it, but you want to go there in Africa and tell them to do it?
President Macky Sall said his country respected human rights, but he emphasized that no changes on laws regarding homosexuality would be forthcoming.
They went over there and threatened them to cut aid if they don't support or promote homosexuality. We will cut your fucking aid. They're like, go ahead and cut it. It's a dead issue.
If that is how you're going to bring your aids, then I'm afraid the Western can leave us alone in our poverty, and we will continue scrounging and struggling and see how we can get going.
If homosexuality and our aid depends on LGBTQ, we'd rather struggle. Cut the aid in. Everybody's saying that. There's another president over here. How many is this? 6 African presidents?
What is your message to Western human rights groups, to President Obama, to lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people?
Respect African societies and their values.
Respect African society and their values. Stop trying to change shit.
If somebody is a law-abiding citizen who is going about their business and working in a job and obeying the traffic signs and doing all the other things that good citizens are supposed to do.
If you don't agree, you just keep quiet. Let's manage our society the way we see.
They saying we'd rather you cut your aid than you preach this homosexuality to this shit to us, right? Cut it.
And not harming anybody. The idea that they are going to be treated differently or abused because of who they love is wrong.
If we are wrong, we shall find out by ourselves. Just the way we don't interfere with yours.
Stay out of that shit, Barack Obama. We ain't telling you to go over there and telling people they should stop sucking dick. Huh? We ain't going over there trying to kick dicks out of American mouths. Why are you trying to put dicks in ours? Huh? We're not saying, hey, America, you need to go over there and stop sucking dicks. Stop eating pussy. We let y'all do y'all thing. We don't say nothing about y'all wild butt sex or nothing like that. But you want to come over here and tell us about our policies? Come on, man. Stick to your shit and let us stick to ours. Huh? Stick to your shit. Right? Because we ain't got it over. We ain't going to do it like that, right? You can have all the gay butt sex over there you want to. We ain't tripping. We not tripping. We gonna come over there and we not tripping. Just don't expect us to get into that shit. Don't expect no parades over this motherfucker. Don't expect no Pride Month. How the fuck we get a Pride Month before you get a goddamn Juneteenth? Huh? How you get a whole month? Think about it. These motherfuckers got a whole month. Right? They celebrate, and they shit more turned up than Black History Month. Black History Month, the shortest day in the motherfucking year, right? And Gay History Month is one of the most turned up months of the motherfucking. You're gonna have February, right after Christmas, right after Thanksgiving, motherfuckers broke, right? And then you're gonna have Gay Pride, right, with motherfuckers bouncing back and got money in the summer. And motherfuckers outside. These motherfuckers got all this shit. You're right, you give motherfucker Juneteenth one day, right, to celebrate. These motherfuckers got Gay Pride Day. You paint the whole White House a rainbow. And you didn't paint the White House black, nigga. What the fuck? That would have been a nigga dream. If he would have painted the White House black, I would have said, you know what, Barack Obama, you did that. This nigga painted the White House in a rainbow. What the fuck? That's not, come on. If you would have put an African medallion on that motherfucker, a Black Panther on that motherfucker, I'm not even talking about the nigga, I'm talking about the animal. Nigga, if you would have put something on, I would have been like, yeah, Barack done that. Nigga, you put a rainbow.
Do you personally dislike homosexuals?
Of course, they are disgusting.
They require help, obviously. For me, I think they're sick. That's how I see it, but they need help.
What sort of people are they? How can you go? I don't.
He said, "Of course I do. They're disgusting." He said it's so smooth.
I never knew what they were doing.
Okay, a carrot.
Wait, you never knew what they was doing? Well, let African cuz tell you what they was doing, right? Let Nigerian, you are gay, tell you what they was doing. If he don't know what they doing, let's explain to him what they was doing.
Carrot with a banana. And I want this young woman to explain to you.
Let's give him a chance.
What does she use for sex? What do they use for sex? What do you use? What do you use for sex? As a man,
Stop
this
insulting my food.
You see, they don't even want to talk about it.
Okay, let's hear from him. Let's hear from him.
You see, they don't even want to talk about it. This thing is hot. This thing is hot.
I've been told recently that what they do is terrible.
Pepe,
why don't you respect yourself?
No,
Pastor, can you become for now?
No.
Can you become? And let him respond.
Okay, I'll put these ones here. I'll put these ones here to see if she will answer.
I put these ones here. I put these one here to see if she'll answer. He said it's disgusting. He mad. Show us how you have sex.
When you take a man, this is a man's genital, and you insert them into the intestine. Okay, they put their genitals into the excretory system. This excretory system is not designed to receive. It is only for exit.
But I was ready to ignore that if there was proof that that's how he's born, abnormal. But now the proof is not there.
Just like President Obama, I think we also need to be able to speak frankly about some of these things. And the fact of the matter is that Kenya and the United States, we share so many values.
You are a transgender.
Our common love for democracy, entrepreneurship, value for families.
We got a lot in common with the United States, but one thing we ain't got common for damn show.
These are things that we share. But there are some things that we must admit we don't share. our culture, our societies don't accept. It's very difficult for us to be able to impose on people that which they themselves do not accept.
You hear me? How many countries said that? How can we impose something on somebody that they do not accept? Right? And this is the democracy. Ain't that what democracy about? They don't want to accept homosexuality. They want to make it a crime. The people do. And that's what the democracy, they voted on it, evidently. They're not voting against it. They're not holding no protest or anything. And they sticking with what he said. They're adamant about it. And you going over and saying, well, you're not a civilization unless you accept homosexuality. You're saying that's how they used to preach Christianity. Go to different countries and say, hey, believe in God, read the Bible. You know what I'm saying? People used to take journeys and village trips and whatever the hell they call that thing where you do it for free, right? People used to do that shit, right? Now you going over there in different countries and preaching homosexuality when people used to preach God? Wow.
This is why I repeatedly say that for Kenyans today, the issue of gay rights is really a non-issue. We want to focus.
It's a non-issue because we got bigger fish to fry. Women's rights, kids' rights, work, development. We got other rights. We're not worried about no gay shit. Ain't nobody in the country worried about no gay shit but America.
On other areas that are day-to-day living for our people, the health issues that we have discussed with President Obama, these are critical. Issues of ensuring inclusivity and of women, a huge section of society.
This is what we worried about. Not no LBG and no damn rainbows.
That is normally left out of the mainstream of economic development. What we can do in terms of infrastructure, what we can do in terms of education, in terms of our roads, in terms of giving our people power, encouraging entrepreneurship.
Damn, that's what the shit we should be worried about. He worried about the shit we should be worried about. The shit we supposed to be worried about. Education, entrepreneurship, infrastructure. Ain't that what we supposed to be worried about? But no, we pushing Roe v. Wade and gay rights. What? They saying the shit we supposed to be saying. Are we supposed to be helping them with? Ain't that more important to them than gay rights? Look what he say. What's more important to development of a country? The shit he just named what he need help with, or the shit Joe Biden and Barack Obama and them want to do with gay rights?
Don't accept. It's very difficult for us to be able to impose on people that which they themselves do not accept. This is why I repeatedly say that for Kenyans today, the issue of gay rights is really a non-issue. We want to focus on other areas that are day-to-day living for our people.
Day-to-day living.
The health issues that we have discussed with President Obama, these are critical. Issues of ensuring inclusivity and of women, a huge section of society that is normally left out of the mainstream.
They left out in America too. They women racist, they winning women of the year, huh? They've been left out over here too.
Of economic development. What we can do in terms of infrastructure, what we can do in terms of education, in terms of our roads, in terms of giving our people power, encouraging entrepreneurship. These are the key focuses.
Power, roads.
Maybe once, like you have, overcome some of these challenges, we can begin to look at new ones. But as of now, the fact remains that this issue is not really an issue that is on the foremost mind of Kenyans. And that is the fact.
Huh? That is a fact. So Barack Obama, he said that shit in front of Barack Obama. I done said behind your back, soon as Barack Obama, they were standing side by side when they held these speeches. He said that in front of Barack Obama. That is a fact. Fuck you and your rights.
They have them in the city of Birmingham. They call it historical, made history and all that kind of stuff. But I'm here this morning to talk about another his story. To me, yesterday was one of the most bizarre scenes I ever seen in this city. One of the most comedic scenes I ever witnessed in public. When I witnessed men with size 13, 14 shoes out there kissing each other in the mouth in front of little kids. It was just bizarre.
It was just bizarre. When you ain't used to that, hell yeah, it's bizarre. It's bizarre to me still in 945, but I live in LA, the capital of it, and it's still bizarre.
It was like a freak scene going on. That's what I call it. Now, I know about the government and laws being made, but I got a law this morning that came out in Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 31. And it's
God's law. That's God's law. That's just a past man's law.
It says, shall a man leave his mother and father and join to his wife, and they shall become one. And to have your kids out there yesterday, 6, 7 years old, holding flags.
Putin's. Huh? They don't do that in other countries, right? In Russia, you can't have no gay propaganda in no Russia, right? You got little kids in America holding gay flags. Don't know what the fuck it's about. Their parents teaching them about gay shit. You can't do that in Russia.
Putin signed a measure in June banning public expression of homosexual identity and affection. Supporters said it's to protect the young.
Huh? Protect the young. Is we protecting young over here from homosexuality? No, we promote it to them.
The Bible said, provoke not your children to riot. To riot. Proverbs 22 and verse 6, 7.
I think that the law is so vaguely formulated that you can use the law to criminalize every expression of being gay or lesbian, and I think that way you erase the homosexuality out of the minds and out of the street. You make it invisible.
Huh? You make it invisible to the kids, right? So if they learn homosexuality, they learn it by themselves. They don't go out and promote it. It ain't all in the schools. It ain't all in the parks. It ain't all in the buildings. It ain't all in the Foot Locker and everywhere you go. In Starbucks, everywhere you go, it's a damn Black Lives Matter and a damn gay flag hanging up without the American flag.
Another measure prohibits the adoption of children by foreign couples who are gay or lesbian.
Train up a child in the right way he should go. And when he get old, he went to park.
James Touche, you right about that. That's what he preaching right now. We took away from God, James. And he out there with gay people out there with flags and all kind of stuff promoting the gay homosexuality, James. That's wrong. In front of kids? We're not protecting kids. Turn back to God. James, you right.
Doesn't that make you gay?
I'm so delighted and honored that God would have me bold enough to stand here and talk about this issue.
A controversial new law has now come into...
They don't do that shit in Hungary, right? You can't promote. Remember all the gay books and the transgender books and the grown rape books we had in school over here that the parents didn't want their kids to read? You can't do that shit in Hungary, but you can do it in America.
To effect in Hungary, despite condemnation from the EU. The law bans portrayals of homosexuality or gender change in school educational materials or TV shows for under 18s.
Huh? And TV shows, right? You can't show transgender or homosexuality in TV shows and in books. What's wrong with that?
Critics say it discriminates against LGBTQ people. The European Commission has urged Hungary to repeal the law.
How? When they said we take it away from kids. How many LGBT people going to school reading them damn books? They said we keep it away from kids. How is that discriminating against you? If anything is discriminating against the kids, and they not complaining. They don't know no better. All they want to do is read in color. They don't want. I'm pretty sure they don't want to read about no damn sex change or get molested. Right? Let them be kids. You protesting? You protesting? They taking kids' book out the school, and you feeling some type of way because they don't want to promote gayness. They don't want their kids to see homosexuality. Now you want to protest.
But Budapest says EU efforts to overturn it will be in vain, insisting the measure is there to protect children.
Well, all the preachers was yesterday. You know what I mean? The only time gonna make them come out them doors when they stop them tithes and offering in your church.
This law puts homosexuality and gender reassignment on par with pornography.
Huh? Yeah, it is with kids, right? On par with pornography, right? You should be an adult to see a sex change. You should be an adult to talk about that shit. You should be an adult to talk about kids getting molested, whatever the fuck you want to show in these books. You should be an adult. How is that discriminating against the LGBT community? Everything is discriminating against the LBG community. Once you get these motherfuckers inch, they're going to take a mile. Right? And it is not for all LBG because everybody don't act like this, especially conservatives. Gays, they don't act like this. They don't play the victim. They don't act like everybody against them.
It uses the protection of children, to which we are all committed, as an excuse to severely discriminate against people because of their sexual orientation.
By taking it out of kids' books? Oh, it's to protect kids. Well, what's wrong with that? You see how the liberals, there's liberals in other countries. You got liberals in other countries fighting for the stupid ass shit too. But you see all their belief system? Oh, you're taking out of kids' books. We want to protect kids, but we want to have sex in books. It wasn't no sex in books when I was growing up. It was social studies, math, English, history. I didn't have no damn gay book. I couldn't go in no library and it said the LBGTQ section. I couldn't open no book and read about nobody getting molested or nobody getting no sex change. It wasn't in my library. I don't know how we reacted to that shit. It'd have been nasty and disgusting if I would have opened up a book and somebody would have talked about getting a sex change. We didn't know nothing about that shit. I didn't know what a transgender was until I turned 13 or 14. It wasn't preached in my household. It wasn't preached at my school. It wasn't preached in my community. And the people who was kept that shit a secret. They didn't have it out in front of me, flagging and being flamboyant, and they didn't do it in front of us. They was respectful. Now it's disrespectful.
This law is disgraceful.
You can't have Men's Day no more, and Youth Day and Women's Day. I bet you're going to have a sign in your hand with Brussels Ed then. You're going to be standing in front of the White House then. No, y'all got to leave us alone. You know what I mean? But somebody should have stood up yesterday.
No, I have to pray for this young woman as I read the scripture for her. My daughter.
We're going to stand up for this gay woman right here. He better read the scripture for her. Bow your head if you read the scripture.
I want to read for you a scripture.
I should take charge of this.
No, I want to read for her.
He's not ready. He's not ready to listen to you. No. I'm afraid. Pastor, no. I'm afraid you're not going to.
She got a demon in her. Let him preach the demon out of her.
My guest is not comfortable. No. Well, on that note, we thank you very much.
Ain't it funny? Everybody got a right but the Christian. So I'm here this morning to talk about my right. Because I got a right too.
Right? Christians, everybody got a right but the Christians. Locked down. Churches locked down. You can't preach certain shit. You can't pray. Right? You can't say God in certain areas. They taking God out of the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody got a right but a Christian. You don't even have a right to have a service because the anti-abortion people, the abortion people, fit to come and attack the church, or burn it down, or steal a statue. And ain't no FBI going to investigate like they investigated the parents. They're not going to investigate the abortion clinics getting down, the church getting defaced. Because you don't have that right. But let something happen to somebody gay.
I can barely say praise the Lord in public now. I might go to jail. I might threaten a lawsuit on the job.
Like they did on the coach when he prayed with his football players. They fired him.
Again, really simple for me. The right resolution is to just be reinstated as a coach and let me be able to give thanks after a football game.
A local football coach's firing is in the national spotlight today as the U.S. Supreme Court hears his case.
You can't tell a person to have a blessed day. Ain't it sad? Y'all, I got a text this morning, gonna share it, which I'm getting on out here.
Right? The Supreme Court ruled in his favor, in favor of God. People got mad over that. People got mad over the Supreme Court ruling on the First Amendment, freedom of speech. Right? They got mad. He shouldn't be able to have freedom of speech and preach God, which all fucking sports teams do, have prayers before or sometimes after the game or sometimes both, right? You pray that everybody come back healthy. You pray that you win. You pray you pray good thoughts, right? After the game, if you lost, you pray, you thank everybody who came out healthy. I thank you, Lord, for everybody coming out healthy and everybody somebody got injured, you pray for them. Right? If you're lost, you know what I'm saying? You still, sometimes you pray, you know what I'm saying? And everybody was still safe. Nobody got injured, you know what I'm saying? And it was a good game. And I mean, there's certain prayers you do before and after games. I never thought in my wildest dream that they'd say a coach couldn't do that. I thought that was part of the game. But since God is in it, they want to take it out the game because they want to take God out the game. But you get on your knees and protest, and you can hold a fist up and kneel, do it a president allegiance. You can do all that. But if you pray to God, they're going to fire your ass.
I got a text all the way from Washington, D.C., and I'm going to go and break the news to y'all, and y'all in the back of me also. In 2 more years, in 2016, February the 9th, you won't be able to marry your partner that you played football with no more.
So who is gay?
You're going to be able to marry your dog. You're going to be able to marry your cat. You're going to be able to marry your snake. You're going to be able to marry your rat. Your roaches. Some of y'all been with the roaches so long, you might well go and marry the roach. He been around your house so long, you're going to be able to marry your broom, your mop. Ain't we going crazy in this world, y'all?
That is for men. For women, what they do is...
Right? We're going crazy. Because now you can marry anybody. The laws are slowly. You got people saying now they don't even want to be human anymore. They want to be dragons and vampires and birds and shit. Right? It's getting to a point where everybody, when you say it got to be some kind of, it got to be some kind of guidelines or restrictions or something on certain things. Because look what society has become. Right? You allow these perverts to watch things like little girls in bathing suits and dancing and shit on Netflix, and you wonder why kids get molested. Right? You got video games and movies and rap songs with violence and shooting them up on Instagram and Facebook, and you wonder why a kid gonna grab a gun and do some stupid shit. Right? You promote you're letting these people out of jail for doing all kind of shit. One dude has got arrested 108 times. Another female got arrested over 100 times. You're letting them out, right, with a slap on the wrist and letting them be the victim and letting the victim be the fucking and the victim is like treated like the perpetrator. The victims, I mean, the suspects and the criminals need their help now. Oh, they need their help. They need mental help. They need this. Let them out. We can't keep them in. Right? It was a person in Atlanta, right? Because Atlanta staff, they are third short on staff, right? It was a dude that was hanging dead for over an hour for about 3 hours before the guard even came in and saw him. He was hanging outside over the rail. You can Google it. It just happened in Atlanta. And they said because we show on staff, and where it's supposed to be 3 people, it's only 1 person. That's how bad it's got. And they're not getting any recruits because people is quitting. Huh? That's a Atlanta penitentiary, a Georgia State penitentiary. Got people dying, hanging on rails for hours, and ain't nobody even there to see them. You can Google that. Right? But it's to the point where we're putting our money and our concentration into the wrong places. We can't rehabilitate them by letting them out and offer them safe drug kits to do more drugs. What the hell you think they do when they need the money for the drugs? They go out and commit crimes. What do you think when they do when they off drugs? They go out and commit assaults. That's why they bust a Olympic volleyball player upside the head with a damn steel pipe. On drugs. You're not helping the mental illness. You add on to it. Can nobody get mentally better by doing more drugs or doing drugs safer? Huh? We're going to help you with your mentally illness by helping you do drugs safer. We'll give you a smoking kit. You still going to be out here broke, hungry, living in a tent. Mind gone as a motherfucker, but at least you're going to be able to smoke crack clean. You're going to be able to do that. We don't want you to get no blisters. We don't want you to get hurt smoking crack. We don't want you to catch no COVID smoking crack. So we're going to give you the whole smoke. I see them downtown. They got places where you can go and just get a whole smoking kit for free. This no money down. Huh? Got a lighter and all kind of shit up in there. Smoking kit. But no mental illness help. Nobody out there teaching them how to get off drugs. Nobody teaching them programs they can go to or anything. They're expecting, hey, you know where the programs at. Get to them if you want to. Huh? Nothing for mental health. We give you a place to sleep, but we don't give you no job. We just want to get people off the street so it'll look better and look like we're spending some money on homelessness, because the homelessness is money in Los Angeles. Anything is a problem, and anything you got to fight, money is involved in it. Huh? Anything you fight has to have money. If you were to go to war with your next door neighbor right now, you have to get some type of weapons or some type of defense. Right? I'm talking about with your next door neighbor. I'm not talking about with a different country. I'm not talking about with a different block, I'm city or whatever the fuck it may be. You would have to raise some type of money to be able to defend yourself in any type of fight that is planned. I'm talking not no street fight where you know. I'm talking about a fight where you know this motherfucker finna do something and you either gonna have to defend yourself or protect yourself. There's no fighting without money. So anything, the abortion, money. Democracy, money. Voting rights, money. Super MAGA, money. Racism, money. White supremacists, money. All that is money. Right? Stacey Abrams right now ain't getting no money funded from her in Georgia. But look at her funding from New York, Texas, and California. Look at the funding she's getting from these states. Right? You don't need to spend no money in California because the candidates is already on lock with all these liberals down. So send the money to Georgia and places like that where we can outnumber the Republicans 3-1. Right? I remember when I was a liberal, and I was to believe that it was the Republicans that liked the rich people. It was the Republicans that was the rich. It was the Republicans that looked down on the poor. It was all that old shit. But now I see Republicans are average people, right? It's more rich people that are Democrats, right? I'm pretty sure, right? If I was a Trump hater, I'd be making triple the money I'm making right now. If I made these same videos about the date, if I made the same videos about whatever these leftists saying about Roe v. Wade, and I twist it and try to come with a stupid ass, and I'm pretty sure I'll be making way more money than this. Right? It was because liberals have way more money and way more numbers than Republicans. That's just how it is. They got more money. They've been having more money. Look at the funding, 3-1. That means every Democrat or every liberal channel on YouTube is outfunding me 3-1. Outviewing me 3-1. Because it's easy to make up some shit and have people want to believe something like, okay, that shit, I want to hate Donald Trump so much, I'm going to believe everything this motherfucker say, right? They just took a poll and said, right, took a poll on Americans that might figure one day they might have to take up arms, and it was like 65% Republican conservative men and 35% independent and 22% Democrats. But it was high ass numbers against people who might want to who think they might have to do something to the government or the government might do something to them. It was a high ass number. Right, so people defending themselves, and it was a number that made people think like, oh, the point I was trying to make is they was talking about why people are not trusting their government. They talk about it's the information they get, and you can get information from all type of sources, right? You don't get the information that's true, you get the information that you want, right? And you clinch to that, like, I want to hate somebody, you know what I'm saying? And this group hates, so I'm going to stick with this group, or this group hates this group, so I'm going to stick with that group, right? And it's easy for CNN to say, well, Fox News is lying and Fox News is this, because if they say Fox News was telling the truth, guess how many ratings they would lose? Huh? I mean, for Fox had to say CNN is lying, right? And CNN had to say Fox lying. Fox can't say, oh, CNN is telling the truth on the story, even though they say they tell the truth sometimes, right? Especially about Joe Biden lately. They've been playing some clips about CNN laughing at Joe Biden and talking about his ratings and shit. I mean, they've been saying, okay, this is what we've been telling y'all. Y'all been telling the truth. CNN ain't saying, oh, Fox News always been right. They can't say that, even though Fox News always been right about Joe Biden, right? They've been right about certain things. CNN been right about certain things, right? But it's a small thing, right? They wasn't right on the Black Lives Matter ride. They wasn't right on the Summer of Love. They wasn't right on the Juicy Smollett. They wasn't right on a lot of different fucking things, right? They wasn't right on the Russian collusion, right? They wasn't right on the phone call. They wasn't right on him going to jail. They wasn't right on a lot of different shit. But their viewers still clinch on. They lost a lot of viewers. But the reason that people don't trust their government because of the news they get. Right? Now, if you on Fox News, you get more truth because Fox News don't base their shit based on theories and shit like that. They wait for the facts, and when the facts come out, they explain how the facts go. CNN jump ahead of the story and say this person guilty, or this person not, or this person is shot, or this police done this, or this they jump ahead of the story and already say racism attached to it, and this mass shooter was a Trump supporter, and this dude was racist, and it's the mockery, and the internet, and they already jumping over the story and making all kind of headlines to it. Fox wait for the news and report on the news. So it's a different, because I watch both channels, right? I got to watch both channels because I got to have a different argument point. That's why you see most of the clips on here is CNN, right? So what I do is I go find the truth I want to point out, right? And I have CNN and MSNBC tell it. I don't have Fox tell it. So when you see some of my clips, it don't have no Fox reporters on there because people say, well, you always getting Fox News. No, I'm getting CNN news, and CNN telling you this shit. Right? It's not no Fox News. CNN got to tell the truth sometimes. So all these clips right here, you don't see no Fox News. All these people talking about Obama, it's not on Fox News. All these people talking about they not supporting the gay shit and Obama, and they can take, it's not on Fox News, it's on CNN. Huh? You don't see no liberal, you always see liberals going to Fox News and pulling out some bullshit. No, I'm going to CNN and all these other channels proving my motherfucking point. It's a difference. I'm going to they shit proving point, not to Fox News proving points. Huh? There's more to come.
They begin their sexual acts because she does not have the equipment. They begin to use their lips. So the mouth is used to lick the other person. That's number one.
Hey, we going crazy. I know Alabama made a lot of money yesterday. I know somebody else made a lot of money too. Duracell, they got no batteries on the shelf this morning.
It created orogonorrhea. Many lesbians have orogonorrheas, orosyphilis. Number two, because they don't have the equipment, they begin to use gadgets like bananas. They use carrots. They use bananas. They use cucumbers and other metallized ones, and they put them inside themselves. All the
batteries gone. I tried to find a battery for my radio this morning. Couldn't find them nowhere. I said, what happened? They said, Rev, they bought all the batteries last night. They celebrated some kind of way. Just bought all the batteries. I don't know what they do to the batteries. No, every day. I'm a preacher. I won't go there. You know what I mean? I don't know what they did with all them batteries. Now, Mr. Mayor, don't stop me in the hallway, you and your security team, and tell me I can't come here talking like I talk. Because you got a political job to do, I got a biblical job to do.
And I'm going to do my job and you do your motherfucking job, right? Because you can't stop God's work. They trying to stop it.
And I'm going to do mine and you do yours. I'm going to stay in my lane and you stay in yours. I ain't bought by nobody. If I had to die doing what I'm gonna do, I'm just fine. Y'all remember Peter and Paul and Silas were thrown in jail? I'm getting out of here, Mr. Officer. Don't you push that button.
No, don't you push that button. I'm getting out of here. Let me preach, damn it. They want to hurry up and get God up out of there.
You remember Paul and Silas were thrown in jail? You remember the 3 Hebrew boys were thrown in the fiery furnace? You remember Daniel was thrown in the lion's den? They just said when he show up, or if he show up, they said we know he gonna show up. Why we scared today, preachers?
Your time.
Everybody coming out the closet but the saints. When we gonna come out the closet? And all the gay people ain't show up down there yesterday. We got some down low people that didn't show up. Some of them down here.
Right? Right? And we finna get into a little gay history, right? Now, gay rights was along with civil rights, right? Now, this dude is part of Black history, supposedly, right? But they took him out of history because he's gay. He was Martin Luther King's right-hand man. And some people say he was even Martin Luther King's lover, right? Now, who would say that Martin Luther King had a lover, right? And why Martin Luther King never said nothing about his right-hand man that was supposed to be more important to the marches and the speeches, more important than Martin Luther King. He supposed to be more important than Martin Luther King, but back then they said, yeah, we got to take him out because he's gay. And some people say he was Martin Luther King's lover. And it was a scandal. I'm finna get into it when it gets to that part. Stay tuned, right? But this dude was supposed to be behind everything, right? Gay. He supposed to be the brains behind this, right? But they tried to do the gay shit with the black shit, and they had to separate it because they was marching at a beat of 2 different drums. I don't know if they said we're going to pause the gay shit for later and go with the black shit for right now because we can't do both of them at the same time. But right now we got to put a pause on it. But this dude is an architect, and he was openly gay.
Was at heart a militant and revolutionary in the fight for civil rights.
Bayard Rustin served as a trusted advisor to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during the Montgomery bus boycotts, but he's better known for organizing the iconic 1963 March on Washington.
And all of the 200,000 attendees knew Rustin's name because he was the chief organizer.
The one man in America who could do it did it, and that's why it happened. It had an architect. His name was Bayard Rustin.
Yet his name was largely stripped from history because of the other rights he fought for.
That shirt needs to be stripped off your damn chest. Huh? Power protected by rainbows. Skittletown. Can somebody say Skittletown? Skittletown.
Gay rights.
But in a time when intolerance ran high, Rustin stood out for more than just his work on civil rights.
It was just one of these facts of life. Bayard is gay. He doesn't hide it. I said to somebody once that he never knew there was a closet to go into.
But Dr. King was pretty terrible at strategizing and organizing such large events. And that's why he hired a man perfect for the job by the name of Bayard Rustin. King and Rustin originally met in Montgomery, Alabama in 1956 when Rustin showed up to support the Montgomery bus boycott.
In 1956, they knew each other since 1956, right? From 56 to 63, he was hanging around an openly gay man, his advisor, right? His advisor. And this black dude, right, he adopted another white dude that was gay so they can have gay sex because it's outlined there. So a lot of people was adopting, you couldn't date outside your race, so you had to adopt people. So it wasn't marriage, they was adopting their kids and having sex with them. They was having sex with the people they was adopted. I should have put that story up in there. He adopted, it was a white dude telling the story, you know what I'm saying, about how he adopted him. He was like 60-something years old, and the other dude like 27, right, or something like that. And he had to adopt him at 27. So they can have gay sex. Right?
When they met, King...
But this dude's story right here is wild as a motherfucker. Watch dude's story, right? He got some stories. This dude is part of history. Watch what kind of history this dude is. Watch who mentioned his name. This dude is historic. I'm telling you. Just stay tuned.
King was well aware of Rustin's sexual orientation.
Bayard had been attacked both for his homosexuality and also his political views.
Strom Thurmond did it on the floor of the United States Senate.
Strom Thurmond mentioned this nigga name. Huh? You can't get no bigger than Strom Thurmond. If Strom Thurmond mentioned your name on the Senate floor.
But it didn't matter to him. It was because of this meeting that King later hired him to work for the movement. Rustin was responsible for many large events the movement conducted, and thus he was put in charge of the anniversary speech event in Washington,
which led him to oppose affirmative action and
One thing he didn't go with, right? He didn't go with affirmative action, and he hated liberals, right? This one Democrat who hated liberals. Think about this. A gay black man that was around Martin Luther King hated liberals. He didn't want the affirmative action. He didn't want no reparations. He didn't want none of that shit. He wanted free health care, better wages, and education, right? He didn't want all this affirmative action. He thought that was some bullshit.
reparations, instead advocating a federal jobs guarantee, a higher minimum wage, and universal health care.
10 years prior, in 1953, Rustin was arrested in Pasadena, California, for having sex with another man in a parked car.
He had sex. He was a gay advocate, right? Remember, you couldn't have sex with men back then, right? It was outlawed. This dude got arrested for over 10 times talking about he was advocating for gay sex, right? He was an advocate, right? He kept on having sex and getting caught, right? Saying this should be legal, right? I don't know if it was getting caught or if it was legal, but he was getting caught with it was sex. So he had a gang of sex in public charges. And Strom Thurmond brought that up.
Thurmond referenced Rustin's 1953 arrest on a public sex charge.
Because of this arrest, he was fired from his position as the Secretary for Student and General Affairs at the Fellowship of Reconciliation, where he worked at the time. This was the first of many times his sexual orientation became a topic of discussion and a problem for other people.
Bayard criticized another trend that's on the rise today. He called it white liberal syndrome.
White liberal syndrome, right? The shit he was talking about back then was going on right now. White liberal syndrome. And watch how he break it down. He was before his time, you know what I'm saying, with the white liberal and the Democratic Party. He was before his time. That's why they had to keep his ass silent, because he was speaking out against the Democrats.
The senator is interested in attacking me because he is interested in destroying the movement.
Strom Thurmond want to destroy niggas. He don't give a damn about the movement. He used that as a as a part of it. And this nigga was having gay butt sex a gang of different times. He got caught and he got charged with it. What are we listening to him for? We can't listen to him.
He will not get away with this.
This syndrome causes white liberals to expect less from blacks out of a desire to signal their awareness of racism.
Huh? You heard what he said? You heard what he said? They got liberals be thinking less of blacks, right? To let them know we're aware of the racism that you go through. We're aware of the racism, right? But it's white liberalism, right? This is what the gay dude was preaching back then. What white liberalism is, it's happening right now.
This syndrome causes white liberals to expect less from blacks out of a desire to signal their awareness of racism.
Accept less from blacks.
A recent study from the Yale School of Management found that white liberals use simpler words when communicating with a person they assume is black rather than white. Conservatives, on the other hand, show no racial bias.
Conservatives show no racial bias when they talk, right? They talk to white people like they talk to black people, right? Because liberals talk down to black people, right? And talk up to white people. It's a study. It's going on right now. You think Joe Biden talked the same when he talked to black people as he talked to white people? Right? He talked down every time he talked to black people. Oh, you the lowest. Oh, you left behind. Oh, you getting killed the most. Oh, the police is killing you. Oh, you can't vote. Oh, you don't have ID. Oh, you ain't black. Come on. He talked down he don't talk to other nations like that. He don't talk to when he talking in front of the health and the people who do the Wuhan shit like that. Every time he get in front of niggas, he want to talk about how oppressed the nation is. He talked to niggas different than he talked to. look what he done. You want to be on the side of Bull Connor, or you want to be? You don't go to no white people and say no shit like that. You want to be on the side of Bull Connor, or you want to be on? You don't. Come on, man. You don't say the same shit in front of black people. How many reporters that was white have he said, "Are you a junkie? Were you on crack?" How many white reporters have he told that shit to? He called what's his name a dumb son of a bitch, but he didn't say was he on crack. Why do he automatically go to crack? When he asked me if he want to take a mental test, what do you do? You take a crack test? What did you on crack? Huh? You a junkie? Where you get that from? They're going to have y'all back in chains. Where you get that from? Huh? Well, poor people are just as intelligent as white people. Where you get that? He don't say that shit in front of white people. White people are just as intelligent as black people. Liberals talk down. Look at Nancy Pelosi when George Floyd. She in order to connect with black people, she had to go get a dashiki, kneel on a knee, do all kind of African Mandela shit. For you motherfucker, oh, she relating to it. She got a dashiki on. That bitch ain't wearing no badge to no police officer funeral. She ain't wearing no motherfucking army hat or no military outfit to no motherfucking military person that died. But she want to wear a motherfucking dashiki to show you that she relate to you and George Floyd.
Another symptom of white liberal syndrome, the belief that white people have no authority to talk about race issues.
Huh? White liberal authority. The gay dude believe white people should be able to talk about black issues too. We talk about white issues. So he believe we should be able to talk about black issues. All that, white people can't talk. And no, they live in the same community you live in. They live in the same country your ass live in, the same city. Sometimes the same zip code. Sometimes the same fucking block. Huh? You can't say, you can't say, you can't, we got to lead them out of the conversation. They have no right to talk about. That's white liberalism. Can't do that.
Bayard saw this attitude as another way in which whites exploited blacks. Not for money or for power in this case, but for moral absolution. Or as he put it, Negroes have been used and exploited in many ways by white Americans. But it is only recently that they have been asked to satisfy the masochistic craving of disenchanted liberals for flagellation and rejection.
Huh? For flagellation and rejection. The white liberal. He didn't say no conservative. Look who Malcolm X was talking about. Google Malcolm X and liberals. This gay man was talking about liberals. Right? Liberals have fucked over blacks for years. When you motherfuckers gonna wake up? Disenchanted liberals with flagellation and rejection. They're rejecting you right now. You still want acceptance. Accept me, Democrats. Accept me, liberals. When have they ever accepted you? They didn't even accept Martin Luther King, nigga. How they gonna accept you and they didn't accept Martin Luther King?
In fact, in 1960, when the Democratic nominee for president, John F. Kennedy,
remember the name, right? Remember when John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King was kissing John F. Kennedy nuts? Remember that? Remember Martin Luther King remember the shift between black votes, right? And all this whole civil rights and stuff like that. Remember, John F. Kennedy was the first person that was pushing the civil rights and all this whole stuff, right? You know what happened to him, right? And you know who became president after that, right? And you know who pushed it after that? Mr. Johnson, right? But remember the name Kennedy, right? And Johnson, and the gay dude, and King. Remember, we're going to connect all of them right now. We're going to connect all of them right now. Remember that the Black Party shifted during the 65 when Kennedy was in office. That's when the Black Party started shifting under Martin Luther King, because Martin Luther King went to the other side, especially when Lyndon Johnson got up in there. I wonder why.
And his running mate, Lyndon B. Johnson, were set to host an event in Los Angeles, California. Dr. King and Rustin organized a civil rights march at the event to protest the party's position on civil rights.
Kennedy and Johnson position on civil rights. Remember what they said in Pasadena, the gay dude and King was for to protest Lyndon B. Johnson and Kennedy, right? A stance on civil rights. Ain't they the motherfuckers who supposed to sign all the civil rights and the Voting Act and all them? Lyndon B. Johnson and Kennedy was the first person to pull it off. Wasn't they the two? Why are you fighting against them, Mr. King and Mr. Gay Man? Huh? Why were you fighting against them for civil rights? You don't like how their civil rights is? You don't know you don't like how their civil rights policies affect black people? Why are you protesting them? And this is the people who turned the black people to the Democratic Party, Lyndon B. Johnson, Martin Luther King, and the Kennedy, and evidently the gay dude.
The march was a huge success and exceeded expectations, but it wasn't the first time Rustin's sexuality came under attack, sometimes from his own people, including the Democratic congressman from Harlem.
Huh? Wait a minute. What? Huh? You said a Democratic Party man from Harlem. What? From his own people. What? The gay dude that was fighting for the black civil rights. What? How did he attack his own people? What did he do? I wonder what did he do? How did he attack his own people? And who did he help? Why was he attacking his own people? I wonder, was he helping Kennedy? Was he helping Johnson? Because Lyndon Johnson and Kennedy sent them to Killer King and to Johnson to talk to him, right? I mean, talk to the gay dude, right? That was his job. Why did they send him? What did he tell Killer King, right? What did he tell the gay dude? What did Kennedy and Lyndon B. Johnson go tell this nigga to go tell King?
So they can understand the scope of the civil rights movement and find solutions. They didn't come after King for his civil rights actions either. Instead, they threatened Dr. King that if he proceeded with the march on their rally, the Democratic Party would accuse Dr. King of having an affair with his event organizer, Baron Rustin.
What? The Democratic Party will say, wait a minute, Martin Luther King, if you said come to this motherfucking protest, the whole Democratic Party gonna say you gay. Oh yeah, come on to the Democratic Party, black people. Come on through, come on. We was gonna protest, we gotta cut that shit short. Come on through, right? These motherfuckers finna say I'm gay. I got a gay dude, I've been hanging around for motherfucking 7 years. We supposed to have a sex tape, you know what I'm saying, or some shit. I just discovered that. But come on through, black people. This motherfucker gonna say I'm gay. You heard what he said, that the whole Democratic Party say this nigga was gay. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Why the whole Democratic Party treat Dr. King like that, man? Come on, man. This is Martin Luther King, man.
Scope of the civil rights movement and find solutions. They didn't come after King for his civil rights actions either. Instead, they threatened Dr. King that if he proceeded with the march on their rally, the Democratic Party would accuse Dr. King of having an affair with his event organizer, Baron Rustin.
Why are you gay?
But before the march got going, the Democratic leadership sent Black Congressman Adam Clayton Powell to stop it. But in order to stop it, they didn't provide an opportunity for King and Kennedy to speak.
There was the possibility of a rumor being circulated by Adam Clayton Powell that Bayard Rustin and Martin Luther King Jr. were having an affair.
That nigga said, well, the Democratic Party's some cold motherfuckers. The Democratic Party, some cold motherfuckers. I never knew. I just discovered this shit today. I never knew the Democratic Party told King, nigga, if you don't turn Democrat, remember, King was supposed to be a Republican. Nigga, if you don't turn Democrat, nigga, we telling everybody your ass is gay. The Democrats some cold motherfuckers. They the coldest party in the history of motherfucking party. They colder than the motherfucking the Chinese Yin Yang Party, whatever the fuck they is, these motherfuckers is cold, right? You try to vote, they killed the people that was trying to go for voter rights. They bombed the shit out of Black Wall Street. They created black codes. You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers created the Jim Crow law. The motherfuckers. And they told Mr. King they created the abortions to kill black babies, right? They eugenics, right, and eugenics fucked up the black population too. They had that right. Democratic Party had that right. They put the welfare system in that allowed black women to get married. You know what I'm saying? The crime and Democrat. I mean, them motherfuckers. And now I just found out they told Martin Luther King, nigga, look, nigga, we would tell everybody your ass is gay. You keep on preaching that shit. You better come on and leave that motherfucking Republican Party alone, nigga. Oh my God.
Even though no one had evidence or even heard rumors of such a relationship between the two.
You don't need to hear it, nigga. The Democratic Party gonna push that shit. You see, when the Democratic Party got the agenda, nigga, they got an agenda. I mean, they don't need no proof. You see Martin Luther King, they evidently convinced his ass, look, he was fucking with the nigga for about 7 years, right? As soon as they said that shit, that nigga got fired. Remember, Thurman was preaching against this nigga, right? The whole Democratic Party was against this nigga, right? This nigga was liberal. He was openly gay. The Democratic Party didn't like gays back then, right? You know what I'm saying? It was like, look, Martin Luther King like, hey, man, we just had to meet with these niggas. Your ass is fired.
After this movement, King decided to distance himself from Rustin for fear of further allegations.
King pressed Bayard to take a back seat and back off from the organizing.
And from...
No, he fired his motherfucking ass. They told him to get rid of the gay dude and your ass turned Democrat. He talking about liberals. He talking about be racist. Get rid of his ass and join the Democratic Party or your ass is over with, nigga.
And from a fear that the gay rights movement would shift the African American civil rights movement.
Clearly, somebody as charismatic and was as brilliant as Bayard Rustin, yet was not able to establish or become a leader in the same sense of all the civil rights leaders of that time. He was being held back by the fact that he was a homosexual.
Hell yeah, they was being held back. They raised his ass from history back then. They said, hell no, we can't let them know we was really fighting for gay rights and black rights. We got to run it side by side, hand by hand. We got to put the gay shit on, you know what I'm saying, on the back burner, right? We all going to get the rights at the same time. Y'all going to get y'all month, y'all going to get y'all day, y'all going to get y'all rainbow, y'all going to get y'all Skittletown, y'all going to get y'all rights, y'all going to get all that. Just hold on.
Dr. King would go on to write how painful it was to see such a great man as Rustin get put to the wayside just because of his sexual orientation.
Look, the nigga got his hand up there gay. Look, the nigga got his hand on the damn railing gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't want no gay conservative man, right, as a part of the Martin Luther King history, right? They didn't say nothing about Martin Luther King couldn't get the damn speech together, and this man got the speech together. They didn't say nothing about Martin Luther King didn't have the connections. This nigga had all the connections, right? They didn't say nothing about he was the main dude behind this shit, right? He was the main advisor, right? They didn't say nothing about him fighting for gay rights at the same time we fighting for black rights, right? He having gay sex and getting caught in cars and stuff like that, talking about a man should be able to have a man and he adopted another man and had gay sex with him and stuff like that. So he would fight for gay rights right along with black rights. You only can do one at a time. They had to separate them, right? Because remember, Martin Luther King was fighting for black rights and they were fighting for gay rights. If he would have had the gay rights shit going with the black rights shit, right, they wouldn't have had it. They wouldn't have got it. They couldn't have combined the two. You gonna have to go, nigga. Right? I just had a meeting with Strong Thurman, the Kennedy nigga, and that nigga Johnson. You gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Your job is no longer needed, nigga. You gotta go. You gotta get the fuck up out of here. We're gonna raise your ass for history. I can no longer associate with your ass. I can write a letter of reference, a recommendation, but that's the best I can do. Your ass gotta go. These niggas gonna say I'm gay.
You are gay.
And while history books in classrooms across America won't tell you the story of Bayard simply because he is gay,
But you will learn about him on the Black Rosebud channel. So all the LGBT people that's going to watch this, give it up for your boy for Black Gay History Month after the month of Black History and the Gay Pride Month.
Bayard Rustin was one of the people in the inner circle who made Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. famous.
Doesn't that make you gay?
Now, 26 years after his death, Rustin will be awarded the nation's highest civilian honor.
What? Bayard Rustin awarded the highest American civil honor. I wonder who awarded that nigga that award. It damn sure wasn't Donald Trump. You only get that award from one person. That's the president. You only get the highest award in the world from one person, right? And that person wasn't Donald Trump.
The Medal of Freedom.
And this year, it's just a little more special because this marks the 50th anniversary of President Kennedy establishing this award.
I bet it motherfucking was. You should have called it the Martin Luther King, you better turn your ass Democrat award or we gonna say your ass gay. The whole Democratic Party, nigga, how the fuck you gonna, nigga, the Democratic Party said they gonna turn Martin Luther King to a gay.
Now, early in the morning, the day of the March on Washington, the National Mall was far from full, and some in the press were beginning to wonder if the event would be a failure. But the march's chief organizer, Bayard Rustin, didn't panic.
Look, this nigga giving Byron Rustin a eulogy. This nigga right here is with the gay rights. Nigga, you didn't do no black, you didn't do Malcolm X like this. Nigga, why Malcolm X didn't get no award?
As the story goes, he looked down at a piece of paper, looked back up, and reassured reporters that everything was right on schedule. The only thing those reporters didn't know was that the paper he was holding was blank.
Well, Joe Biden shit ain't never blank. That nigga got directions. Stand up, sit down, wave, blink, breathe. Like this nigga got some shit on there to say breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to not fall asleep. Like what the fuck kind of instruction like that? Wake up. Like what the fuck? He got wake up on the card. Like the seventh sentence said wake up. How the fuck you got wake up on a cue card? They knew you were finna go to sleep. Like wake up. Oh, wake up. This nigga said, this nigga done a Bobby Boucher, anchor man. This nigga read the whole damn cue card and quote, end quote. What the fuck is this? I'll say it again, end quote. What the fuck? Repeat. What the fuck? Wash, rinse. What the fuck is Joe Biden doing? I repeat. What did I say again? Repeat. Oh yeah, repeat. Let me say it again. What the fuck? End quote. What the fuck? End joke.
He didn't know how it was going to work out, but Bayard had an unshakable optimism, nerves of steel, and most importantly, a faith that if the cause is just and people are organized, nothing can stand in our way.
And it took Barack Obama to hand out the Gay History Award to the gay civil rights history maker because of I don't even know the gay dude name, Baylor or some shit like that. Whatever his name is the reason the first gay black president is ever in office.
So for decades, this great leader, often at Dr. King's side, was denied his rightful place in history because he was openly gay.
But not with Barack Obama. I'm gonna make sure he get his place in history. I'm gonna get this nigga the highest award ever.
No medal can change that, but today we honor Bayard Rustin's memory by taking our place in his march towards true equality, no matter who we are or who we love.
Aww. We got to give it up for the gay people. This is so lovely. They gave the gay dude award for the civil rights of Martin Luther King that they made his ass switch. They said, nigga, if you don't switch, we're going to say your ass got a lover. Nigga, when have the Democratic Party not been racist, deceitful, lying, murdering, child molesting, whatever the fuck you want to call it, liberal ass demons. When the last time they haven't been that? Give me a motherfucking date, please. Nigga, they just told Martin Luther King, the leader of the Democratic, Kennedy and Johnson, and another Democratic from Jersey. Said the nigga said the Democratic Party say if you come and protest against our civil rights, we're gonna say you gay. And you gotta fire the nigga. Huh? The dude that's having gay sex and promoting this civil rights shit for the gays. You gotta fire that. I didn't know that they were promoting, like this dude got arrested on the bus too, like Rosa Parks, right? All kind of little shit he was trying to do for gay civil rights. Having gay sex in cars, adopting white grown men, right? Because, oh, we can't be married, but I can adopt you at 27 years old. Huh? They wiped him out of the history book. Now they're trying to put his ass in, but they didn't tell you the story about why he left the Civil Rights Act, how he was in the Civil Rights Act, how he put the march together and all those shit. But then he got the boot because he was fit to plan a Civil Rights Act against a Democratic Party. You didn't say nothing about that, huh? You didn't say nothing about how the Democratic Party threatened the nigga. Why all of a sudden he leave? He was with civil rights and gay rights for years. Marches and protesting, all that shit, getting hit with bricks and all kind of shit. Now all of a sudden one march in Pasadena and all of a sudden he quit. If that was the case, they could have been said that to King. Hey, nigga, if you don't get rid of him, no, they done it against the Democratic Party. They were protesting the Democratic Party stands on civil rights. Huh? The proof. Dr. King said it. It's history. They didn't say that part of history. Nobody tell you that part of history. How they threatened this black man and threatened Martin Luther King, because that's what it was. Huh? If you come out and you come protest, wait, let me play it again. If you come out and you protest our shit, you know what I'm saying? We're going to say your ass is gay. Huh? One more time. You come out and protest, we're going to say your ass is gay. This is a threat from the Kennedy.
Before the march got going, the Democratic leadership sent Black Congressman Adam Clayton.
The black leadership. The Democrat. See the black man. Come on. They sent a nigga to do the dirty work. Al Sharpton, Kamala Harris, the judge. They send all these black people to do their dirty. Black Lives Matter. They send black people to do their dirty work like they always do. Go send this message to the Democrats. To the Republicans. Go send this message to MAGA. Go send this message to the judge. It's not them out there burning shit up. It's the people. They send in the black people. The Democrats always send the black people to try to get motherfuckers to turn and some shit like that. It's the Democratic leaders. Do you hear what they are saying? The Democratic leaders.
Powell to stop it. But in order to stop it, they didn't provide an opportunity for King and Kennedy to speak.
They didn't provide an opportunity for them to speak. Nigga, you can't even speak at our civil rights. At our fucking rally. You can't even speak at it. We don't even want we don't want Martin Luther King to speak at our shit. That's how racist we was back then. Kennedy.
There's the possibility of a rumor being circulated by Adam Clayton Powell.
A rumor being circulated. So you mean a black Democrat circulated a rumor about Martin Luther King? Huh? That the Democratic Party sent him? These are two different people. I got this from, what? CNN? Two different parties? Two different channels or two different people said this is what happened. They threatened. I got more people said it than that. It's in the history books. He didn't get a chance to speak at the Democratic convention. A black man, the head of the civil rights. couldn't have a voice. Because guess what? They didn't believe what the fuck he believed in, or didn't want to hear it. Whatever it was, you have the most popular, the strongest, the most powerful black man in America at that time, Martin Luther King, fighting for civil rights, and you supposed to be fighting for civil rights, and you don't want him to speak at your convention, and you threaten him?
That Bayard Rustin and Martin Luther King Jr. were having an affair.
Even though no one had evidence or even heard rumors of such a relationship between the two. After this movement, King decided to distance himself from Rustin.
Huh? After the movement? Come on. 6 years, he your main advisor. You've been with him through marches, rally. After this movement, come on. That was a threat from the Democratic Party. I just found this shit out today. I ought to blast this shit on Facebook and like, look what the Democratic Party done to the gay dude and done to Martin Luther King. And you motherfuckers voted Democrat because this nigga switched because they said Martin Luther King was going to be exposed as being gay. Huh? Craziest shit you ever want to know. But that's the end of this show. Hopefully you enjoyed the show, right? And you can donate to a nigga later on Cash App or PayPal. You know what I'm saying? I will be back tomorrow. And if you're in the Arizona area, if you are in Arizona this Friday, I will be out there performing this Friday in Arizona for you. So if you're in Arizona, you know what I'm saying, come and see your boy. You know what I'm saying? The flyer's up on my Facebook page. I'm going to put another flyer up on here when I do my show tomorrow. So if you are in the Arizona area, anywhere near Arizona, come and see your boy. Come and support your boy from far out. I know going to be some people from Arizona because I know it's a lot of conservatives and Republicans in Arizona that watch this damn show. So if you, and this, you know what I'm saying? So if you are one of them people, bring your ass. I'm out this bitch, and I'll check y'all on the next one. I'm out. Thank y'all for the donations. I'm out this bitch. I didn't know.